What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we are back at it again with another Transformer figure review. And today, this is a figure I truly was not expecting to get at all. It's a figure that I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. Why not? I have no reason to pick this up because I've already got one of these figures, but why not? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Arcee. Yeah, we're gonna be taking a look at Arcee today. And, this figure is literally, I did not pay much for this figure at all. I paid a whole $10 for this figure. Yes, I did. So, now I've got 3 different Arcee figures that I definitely don't want. This one I definitely do not need. So, yeah, it ain't gonna be sticking around in my collection. That's for sure. But anyways, because we have now the Studio Series 86 Arcee, we can kind of do the comparison that I've kind of wanted to do for a little bit with the Thrilling 30s one, because this takes a hell of a lot of transformation and a whole hell. This shares a skeleton and a lot of transformation and a lot with the Thrilling 30s. I feel like if the Thrilling 30s was refined a little bit, this would have been the Thrilling 30s one. So, we're going to remove the figure off to the side as we do per usual, and we're going to take a look at the packaging as we usually do. As you may notice, there is a little bit of a scuffed up line. That's where they had their wonderful, in their infinite wisdom, took a price tag and just right there. Ruined the packaging, hooray. But, anywho, you got Arcee on the front, just shooting away there. On the side here, you got Arcee once again. Has anybody ever noticed that she looks like Princess Leia? Just curious. But anyways, there she is on the side. Once again, on the back here, you've got the figure. And on the side, on the back here, I really wish this was not what it looked like in robot mode, but this is what it looks like in robot mode, pretty much. So, yeah. So, and then on the side here, you got the image on the front. It's just a little bit more enlarged and, you know, all that fun stuff. So, I'm going to remove the box. Hooray. And we're going to bring the figure back on in. So, real quickly, before we do that, before we take a look at the figure, we're going to take a look at the gun that it comes with, or that she comes with. And her gun is just done in this gray plastic. And the gray plastic is definitely not Parts Effects compatible, but it is just there. And you can store this in vehicle mode. There is a slot right there, right down there, and just going to take this and it's just going to kind of friction on inward right on in there, and it's just barely going to fit and just stay loose in there, and it's still going to roll, but the slightest, actually, I guess not. It was not doing that for me earlier, but oh well. Anywho, you can store it, so, but we're going to remove that. And, I mean, this figure doesn't look too bad in vehicle mode. It's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. But the one thing that I will say does bother me a lot is this. This thing was poorly designed. Yeah, you can't really do anything to keep this thing stable unless you put a little dot of super glue in there. I can't really get on board with that, but at the same time, not the worst thing on the planet, so yeah. She has her Autobot logo on the back right there. I really wish it was not on the back of the backpack, but one thing that this thing could definitely have benefited from was a lot of paint. This is where the Thrilling 30s one comes into play, and it actually makes more sense. So, anywho, speaking of the Thrilling 30s, let's go on into some scale comparisons, because y'all know we love them scale comparisons around here. So, first scale comparison we're going to bring in our previous Studio Series 86 review. Here she is with Studio Series 86 Ratchet, Voyager class Ratchet. Here she is next to Kingdom Commander class Rodimus Prime, and this guy's pretty much just straight up Hulk. Here she's next to Studio Series 86 Deluxe class Cup. It's been a fair minute since I pulled him out of the glass case. Here she is next to Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. And finally, here she is with her thrilling 30s self. And as you can clearly see, there are some major differences. Please ignore the cat hair that just flew across the screen. It will be getting taken care of here shortly. Now that we've done that, we've taken a look at the weapon, now we can get her transformed. Now, to get her transformed, this thing is a... As is most Arcee figures, she's a shell form. So, you know, let's just get this over with here. So to start things off here, you're going to kind of just come down here and just untab these side pieces from the shoulders that are just in there like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Just undo that, and they will just kind of undo themselves. And then this will just kind of bring everything down like so a little bit. Because this is all on a hinge joint and it's all separate, we're going to undo the feet, which do have a central tab system that when you bring them in together, they will go into here, and they just like for when you go into vehicle mode, you would just line them up, and you would basically keep them all tabbed in like that. So basically then you do that, you bring it all down, bring these down, bring this out, rotate at the thigh, fold the foot down, do the same thing on the other side, rotate, fold the foot down, and then you're going to rotate at the waist, and then we're going to work on the backpack. So to work on the backpack is very fun. Hooray. You're going to fold all of this up on one hinge. Going to then fold this down. You're then going to take these panels that we untabbed earlier, and you're going to swing them on inward, and then close up that wheel section, and do the same thing on the other side. You're going to bring these up, close this up like so, and then you're going to take come to the top section, you undo the arms, which you just shove them on up in there, and then take this top section here of the car. You're just going to push it down, and it's going to release the head. This is where the Thrilling 30s is reminiscent, where it's reminiscent of the Thrilling 30s here. So you're going to then take it, and you're going to bring it over that section that we had just created earlier. And then you're going to double hinge her waist all the way up into herself. And then you're going to collapse her chest up in onto her. And then you're going to basically just kind of make sure all of this straightens out and collapses on up and tabs into place. But because the tab and everything else is so stinking loose on this figure, this is where I have issues with my copy. So I cannot, for the life of me, get this thing to stay put all together, but then again, from what I hear, that is a common issue. So now we're going to straighten her all out. I'm going to give her her gun real quick here. There you have Studio Series 86 Arcee in her robot mode. And okay, I'm a little bit of a sucker for the robot mode, but at the same time, it is not in your best interest, Hasbro, to continue doing this. It is just not in the best interest. So it is not in your best interest at all. I mean, like for starters, I mean, you stole one of your previous molds, and then you mashed two of them together, which I did not like. I mean, let's be honest here. This back section right here, this is all Kingdom and Earthrise Arcee. This is all Kingdom and Earthrise right there. And this all right here, all the rest of this is Thrilling 30s. It's all the rest of this is Thrilling 30s. Albeit, though, I do like it. It wasn't in your best interest, Hasbro, but it definitely enjoyed what you had to offer with what you gave us. So, Now that we've taken a look at all that, let's take a quick little 360 here of all of this. I do like the fact that her waist is now painted in her belly button-ish area. I'm still not a big fan of this chunky backpack, and I don't like I can't get this to stay put. This just does not. It don't want to stay put. It just don't want to stay put. It just doesn't tab in. Where's Swivel Man when you need him? So, anywho, I can't keep the arms put at all. But anyways, so once again, real quick, 360, massive backpack as Arcees usually do have, and then get this going up again like that, and let's get into some scale comparisons before we gotta end this video. Give it some fun, or before we give it our final thoughts and we end this video here. So here she is with Studio Series 86 Ratchet. Here she is next to Kingdom Rodimus Prime Commander Class. Here she is next to Studio Series 86 Deluxe Cup. Here she is next to Earthrise Leader Prime. And finally, the last comparison, and my personal favorite of the two, is the Thrilling 30s. And it all depends on what you like. If you like cartoon accuracy, go for this one. If you like more paint and comic book accuracy, especially in the IDW realm, go for this one. But I just... These two figures feel relatively the same to me. I just feel like they slightly modified this transformation. That's all I feel like they did with this. I mean, this really just feels like the same exact figure, minus a couple... Oh, no. They still give the ports. They still give ports. Like, so let me see here. Can we do this? Can we do exactly what the Thrilling 30s can do? Can we do exactly that on this Arcee? I'm literally just finding this out if I can do this now. Oh, yes, we can. So, yeah, they literally did absolutely no effort here. This just literally proves my point. They seriously this just literally goes to show how much effort went into goes into their Arcee figures, at which to me literally just shows it's none. And even the masterpiece, like the masterpiece that from what I've seen, all of the design flaws go into seriously folding up of the backpack, which is all a nuisance. It's a nuisance to me. I just can't get over that with that hang up of the Arcee figures, especially Arcee figures. And if you're gonna buy Arcee figures, I feel like you should, like, A, do your research, and B, you should know exactly what you want before you go in. I feel like that's what you want. That's the kind of situation we have going on here. So just a quick recap. I do not like this one, but I also do not appreciate... I'm just going to be honest. I do not like this one, but I do like the fact that it is cartoon accurate. That's a plus right there. I do like the fact that it is coming out again, that we're getting pretty much this mold with a couple of tweaks here and there. Again in the 2020s. I am grateful for that. I just don't appreciate the fact that they could not have... They recycled another mold. That's what I'm bothered by, is the recycling of another mold. Like, if they were to have maybe taken this mold and added a few other transformation pieces to it, and hell, they didn't even bother to take this mold, because the legs are not even part of the transformation. So I can't even say that this is a worthy Arcee figure, or worthy of transformation. So I just can't. I can't with this. I can't with this figure, but I also can. So so I have to literally exclude my enjoyment for this figure in order to appreciate this figure. So in order to do that, I'm going to literally bring in my Studio Series 86 cup, and I'm going to bring in my Kingdom Rodimus Prime here. And the only reason why I do that, there's a flaw, and that's a flaw with a lot of RC figures, but the reason I'm bringing those two figures in is because I'm having a hard time with the differentiating of RC, parts and bits and everything of that nature. So, if I had to choose between my RC figures, I'm still going to go with the Thrilling 30s, but this is definitely a good figure if you want to buy an RC figure today. So, I'm not going to say no that this figure gets a lower than 5, because it definitely does not get a lower than 5. So, my final thoughts on this figure are, it is very back heavy. It is very, very back heavy. Like, very, very, very back heavy. Like, if you're gonna get this thing, get a stand for it. Get a nice stand for it, or find a way that you can pose it like this. Like, I'm literally, like, trying not to touch my review table, just so that way this table doesn't move, so that way that doesn't shake. So, but point being is, I'm going to rank this thing, because they stole a lot from the Thrilling 30s. I'm going to give this thing, I'm going to give it a 7.6. 7.6. That feels okay to me. 7.6 feels very okay to me, because it looks cartoon accurate. It looks pretty good. It just does not feel like it's placed in the right. I don't feel like it was placed in the right time. Like, if it was placed in the beginning of Studio Series 86, like the very first wave, I can see this, playing a very massive part. Or if it was way later down the line, maybe I can forgive them using this mold. But the fact that this is just, they've reused this mold, they reused the Kingdom RC, or not King, the Earthrise RC mold so many times. They were like, well, we got to figure out a way to make this RC mold work. And they're like, well, we just got done off the Masterpiece, let's figure something out. So they took the Thrilling 30s mold and the Kingdom RC, the Earthrise and Kingdom RC mold, and they mashed them together, and this is what came out. So I do not blame them for that, but at the same time, they could have come up with a better plan than this. Like, come on, Hasbro. Come on. So, anywho, this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, do not forget to check out Planet Toys, a world built by collectors, where if you do check out with them today, you can get yourself a 10% off of your very first order. And if you do that is only if you sign up with them. That is truly only if you sign up with them. Excuse me, I almost lost my script there. But if you do, would you also do me the kindness of checking out my other reviews, which I will also leave a link in the description down below as well. And this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, do not forget to check out Optination reviews, Beastman reviews, Jordy's Rail videos, Riveted reviews, Patrick with the Y, iStar552, Bravely GG, and Take Along Productions, as I know they all do some amazing work, and have done so in the past. And this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, once again, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.